Welcome to week 5 of the Chakra Yoga series. This is the all levels yoga class, a full 60 minutes. So week 5, yes, the 5th chakra, the throat chakra, also called Vishuddha in Sanskrit. And of course, located right at the throat, has a lot to do with communication. Now, the direct translation of Vishuddha means purification. And in terms of communication, that means to harness truth, speak with kindness, and speak only when necessary. So balancing oral communication with listening, because that is part of the conversation. So if you're feeling a little out of balance in your throat chakra, Vishuddha, it's not surprising these days. It's not a lot of people to talk to, being on our own. And excessive energy here in the throat chakra, Vishuddha, you might have a tendency to talk too much. You might even be really loud, or perhaps even interrupting people. That might have been pointed out to you at one point or another. If you are deficient in the throat chakra, the opposite is true. You might be very shy, very quiet, and not necessarily following along with a conversation. You might hear your name and all of a sudden you're brought back into the present moment because you have wandered away mentally from the conversation going on at hand. If your throat chakra is in balance, which is what we are working on today, you communicate your truth. You're able to speak coherently, you listen, and you're able to distinguish between when it's necessary to speak or if you just need to have your turn. We all know people like that. So, with communication and sound, there are many levels. The chorus of life, the hum of the world, is all around us. You can hear people, you can hear nature, animals, birds, you can hear the wind, you can hear waves if water is nearby. But there's also the hum of life that comes from within you, the subtlety of your heartbeat, the softness of your breath. All of these have sounds. The chatter in your mind, a little murmur of your thoughts, depending on how much in your head you are. So using the throat chakra is not about taking in the sounds from the outside and listening, but it's taking the sounds from inside, the sounds from within, your intuition, your feelings, your just your inner knowing, and clearing out the chatter so that you can connect to a deeper truth. So here we go. Today for your practice, you will need a rolled up towel. We'll need that a couple of times. Hopefully you got that ready and you saw it in the description before you started. So here we go. Starting, sitting tall, sitting comfortably. I want you to bring your hands into Vishuddha Mudra, which is where you take your thumbs and touch them to the base of your ring finger, that lower joint on your ring finger. Let the backs of your hands rest on your thighs and just let your other fingers be long. Closing your eyes, now connect to your breath. With your next inhalation, see if you can feel the movement of your breath at the back of your throat. Might take a couple of tries, and that's okay. Continue to hold your attention, your focus with your breath and the sensation in your throat as your breath moves freely. Try not to hold your breath or make it extra deep. Now as you inhale, Connect to the spaciousness within. Feel how your body expands with your breath. And find comfort in stillness with your breath. Stillness of the mind, right? Quieting down the chatter of the mind to connect deeper within for that deeper message on how you're feeling. And knowing that you're in the right place at the right time. Relax your shoulders. Soften the throat, soften the jaw. Really put some space in the throat here for some energy to blossom. Your next breath in, release Vishuddha Mudra and sweep the arms up, bringing the hands together overhead. As you exhale, let your palms float down, pausing right in front of heart center, hands pressing together. Again, sweep the arms up with the breath in, hands together, and floating down with the breath out. 2 more times. This time really expand through the upper body even more with the breath in. Feel the extra space as your rib cage pulls away from your hips. And then sink into that space. And then releasing your hands, letting your hands rest on your thighs. Once again, just relaxed and heavy. Heavy arms, heavy shoulders. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them. And just lift yourself a little taller. Reach the crown of the head upwards. Now roll the shoulders back and slide them down. Do that 2 more times. Just roll the shoulders. And let your shoulder blades slide down towards your hip. So in yoga, connecting, how does it connect to your throat chakra? Again, we're going to work on opening up through the shoulders and softening through the throat. All right, so sitting tall, crown of the head reaching up, shoulders relaxed now, having brought a little bit of movement into the shoulders. Drop your chin down towards your chest. Just feel a slow stretch reaching down the base of your skull, down the back of your neck. As you exhale, relax the shoulders even more. Now think of pulling your chin in towards your throat. So pulling the chin in, just feeling the intensity in the back of the strut, in the back of the neck and the shoulders. I'm getting a little stimulation here with the chin compressing the throat. Stimulating Vishuddha, the throat chakra. Incidentally, the color of the throat chakra is blue. Pure coincidence. Didn't plan that, it's just the way it worked out. I do love blue though. Now release, lift your eyes, look straight ahead. Now drop your ear, right ear towards your right shoulder. Try not to shift through the shoulders, but just let your head feel heavy, both shoulders heavy. So as your right ear goes towards your right shoulder, try not to let the left shoulder pop up. You want to feel the long stretch from the back of your left ear down the left side of your neck. Bring the head back to center. Now tilt to the left. Left ear goes down towards the left shoulder. Relax the right shoulder. Just be careful. Remember, if there's fear there, the shoulders are going to start to creep up. So just notice that little message from your body. Right? That's the job, to listen to all the messages and to seek a deeper truth. Relax and be. That's the deeper truth. Yeah. Bring your head back to center. All right, let's come into table pose on the hands and knees. I'm uncurl your toes, let the tops of your feet rest on the floor. Now take a breath, and as you exhale, let your shoulder blades push up towards the ceiling, poking the heart forward down towards the mat. Did this in the last class, last week, working on the heart chakra. Now relax your neck, let your head feel heavy. Use the weight of your head to help you stretch out through the back of the shoulders and the back of the neck. Just feel the heels of your hands pushing into the mat to push the shoulders up towards the ceiling, to the blue sky. Lift your chin away from your chest. Look straight down. Get a sense that your ears are in line with your shoulders. Walk your knees wide. Bring your big toes in together to touch and press back to your heels. Stack hand on top of hand and just turn your head to the right. Rest your left temple on the back of your hands. And just really let the back of your head feel heavy. Relax your shoulders. And let your hips feel heavy. Just feel the long stretch into the hips and the deep rotation of the vertebrae in the neck. Breathe, of course. And lift up. Looking down at the hands first, pausing for a breath. And with the exhalation, turning to the left, letting the right temple come to rest on the back of the hands. Let the back of the head feel heavy so you can feel the full rotation of the vertebrae in the neck. Relax the shoulders. Do your best to use your exhalation to release tension. Notice when tension creeps in. And then deal with it with your breath. Lift up, look down at the hands. Now press up. Return to table pose. Curl your toes under. Walk your hands forward to come into a half plank position. So here we are, half plank position, shoulders over top of wrists, hips in front of the knees, fingers pointing towards the top of the mat. Now take a breath. And as you exhale, just slowly bring yourself down. Keep the elbows pushing in towards the rib cage. Now uncurl the toes, let the tops of the feet rest on the mat. Just getting ready to do a couple of baby cobras with the breath. Now roll the shoulders back. Feel the sternum opening. Bring your gaze slightly forward as it naturally wants to do here as you open up through the fronts of the shoulders. Keep the upper arms, elbows hugged in towards the rib cage. Now with a breath in, exhale, heaviness through the hips. First, feel the hips pushing into the mat, and then lift up with the breath in, just a little baby cobra, and exhale, sinking down. Hips stay heavy, breath in, lifting up, bringing the gaze forward, using your hands in the mat to feel the sternum pull away and lift off. 2 more times. Stay open through the throat so there's no restriction with the breath at all. Now bring your gaze back down to the mat. Get a sense that your ears are in line with the shoulders. Toes curl under. Now press your knees into the mat. Pull your belly button away from the mat. Hug the rib cage in. Push with the hands, getting ready to return to a half plank position. So take a breath. And as you exhale, push. Half plank position. Now you can stay here for a full breath. If you want to work a little harder, then go ahead and lift the knees. Another breath. And as you exhale, this time push back to downward dog. So hips lift. Walk your feet in if you're in a full plank position. Find your downward dog. Now pause here. Just play with lengthening the back of the legs, Getting a good stretch at the back of the heels and the sides of the body. Now inhale. You can come forward into plank. You can go ahead and bring your knees down into half plank if you like, or you can lower yourself from the full plank position. So you need to have your elbows bending in towards the rib cage as you slowly bring yourself down. Uncurl your toes, let the tops of your feet rest on the mat. Getting ready now is for a Sphinx pose. So coming forward onto the forearms and elbows. Elbows underneath the shoulders here. Hips heavy. So there's a deep curve in the lower back. Now let's open up through the shoulders by pulling the shoulders back, sliding the shoulder blades in towards the spine, down towards the hips. Now instead of looking down at the mat or your fingers, lift your eyes and look forward. Really open through the throat. Now push into the mat with the elbows to keep the fronts of the shoulders open and the jaw soft. Now breathe into the belly. Really feel the belly pressing into and releasing away from the floor, the earth, with your breath. Now soften, slide the elbows out to the sides. Place hand on top of hand, bring your feet as wide as the mat. Turn your toes out, let your heels sink inwards. Turn your head to look to the left, to the right. Rest your left temple on the back of your hands. The back of your head feel heavy. Breathe into the whole body here. Connect to the sense of spaciousness that comes with your breath. Feel your breath moving through your throat. It might feel cool with the inhalation and then warmer with the exhalation. Now lift, look down at your hands, pause, take a breath in, and as you exhale, turn to look to the left this time. Rest your right temple on the back of your hands. Soften through the shoulders, let your head feel heavy. Let your whole body sink into the mat, releasing with the breath out. This is crocodile pose, by the way, just so you know. Now lift the head, look down at your hands. Now let's adjust the feet. Toes curl under. Yep, we're getting ready to press up. So the press up is up to you. We're going to place hands under the shoulders, elbows hugged in towards the rib cage. Now bend the knees. Push the knees into the mat so the hips begin to lift away. Belly pulls in, rib cage pulls in. Really strong through the core here. Now you can lift to table, you can lift to half plank or full plank, or a combination thereof. All right, so let's take a breath, and as you exhale, push. Lifting all the way up to your version, table, half plank, or full plank. So if you're in full plank, we're going to take a breath right here. Same with half plank. If you're in table, get ready. We're going to lift to downward dog. Take a breath. And as you exhale, lift to downward dog. Find your stance for downward dog. Settle in. Now strong hands planted on the mat. Long legs, long arms. Take a moment to check in with your shoulders. You want to feel like your shoulder blades are pushing towards your hips, not shoulders reaching towards your ears. Now instead of looking back at your toes, I want you to lift your eyes and look towards your hands. Really open through the throat here. You don't have to look at your hands. You might even just be looking straight down at the mat. That's fine. but I want you to feel like your throat is open. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk your feet towards your hands now. Coming into a forward fold. Losing my shirt. All right, little bend in the back of the knees, so there's some softness here. Relax your neck, let your head dangle. Knees are bent enough that your fingertips are grazing the mat. Now just with the head really heavy, just gently turn your head from left to right. As if you were saying no. Just really working into the vertebrae, listening to all those pops and squeaks, and knowing that they're normal. Now, nod your head as if to say yes. Just be careful not to crank through the back of the neck here. Just get a sense that your ears are in line with your shoulders when your neck is extended. And now some circles with the chin. Same thing, just be careful not to do too much compression in the back of the neck. And go the other way. Just feel the throat loosening up, the jaw loosening up. Now bend your knees, drop your hips. Bring your hands onto your knees one at a time, coming into a high chair pose. Yep, we've done this many times. Now sink your weight into your heels slightly and lift your eyes, look forward. So creating some curve through the upper back so the throat feels open. Now roll the shoulders back, slide them down, and let your hands sweep forward. Keep the shoulders heavy. A couple of breaths here. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, release. All right, standing in mountain pose. Adjusting my drawers. Let's step back with the right foot. So right foot steps back. Land on the ball of your right big toe. Now pivot your right foot and at the same time rotate through the shoulders. Bring your left elbow to your left knee. Left knee pointing in the same direction as your left toes, left shoulder stacked over top of your left knee. Right hand comes to the back of your hip. Place the heel of your hand on your hip. Feel the right shoulder beginning to open. Now look back at your right foot. Right foot should be pointing directly to the right wall, and you should notice that your arch is lifting. So if you notice that you're falling in on your arch on your right foot, just press down with the baby toe outer heel of your right foot and the arch will lift. You'll feel a little steadier. Now turn to look to the wall at the right. Use your left arm to keep your left knee, left shoulder in alignment over top of the left ankle. Now use your right hand on the back of your hip as a leverage spot. Roll your right shoulder back. Really open through the front of the body. Pause here for a breath. Checking in with the body the whole time, of course. And if you feel steady, confident, you can go ahead and bring your gaze upward. You can look to the ceiling in front of you, or maybe even the ceiling directly overhead. But as your gaze lifts, the front of the body will open. And you'll feel the movement of your breath in your throat a little bit more as it constricts with the twist through the neck. Just really be aware of the spot in your body where you feel your breath the most here. With your next breath out, release the twist. Bring your gaze all the way back down to the floor. Now press up. Bring your hands to your hips, pivot onto your right big toe, bend your right knee, and push to step forward. Step back with the left foot. So left foot steps back, land on the ball of the left big toe. Pivot on your left big toe, rotate through the rib cage and shoulders. Left toe is pointing to the left, right toe is pointing to the right. Right elbow comes down onto your right knee. Right shoulder, right knee in line with the right ankle. Right toes pointing towards the top of the mat. Left hand, place it on the back of your hip. Heel of the hand on the back of the hip, fingers pointing down towards your left heel. Take a look down at your left foot. Double check you've engaged the arch by pressing into the baby toe outer heel of the left foot. Now using your right elbow to keep the right knee over top of the ankle, turn to look to the left. Feel your body beginning to open. Collarbones broad, throat soft. So once we've got that, we know there's room to go bigger, to go deeper into a pose. So opening up even more. Take a breath. And as you exhale, roll the left shoulder back and bring the gaze upwards. Keep the right shoulder pushing down away from the ear. Left shoulder pulling back. Really draw your breath in, beyond the twist in the throat, into the belly. Take these few breaths where we hold every pose to really listen to what's happening in your body. Observe, witness, be a good listener. Because your body will communicate with you. Take a breath. As you exhale, we're going to release the twist, bringing your eyes back down to the floor, to your right toes. Now left hand reaches down. Then the right. Pivot onto your left big toe. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, lift the eyes up forward, and as you exhale, bow. Relax your neck. Let your head hang heavily. And just breathe. Now lift your eyes, look down between your hands. I want you to bend your knees, drop your hips. Let your rib cage and belly rest on your thighs. So we're coming into a lower chair pose here, but with full support, using the thighs to hold the belly and the rib cage. Soles of the feet pressing into the mat. Now come high up on your fingertips, feel your chest and your rib cage beginning to pull away, but stay connected there. Keep the hips low. See if you can drop your hips a little lower than your shoulders here. Not easy to do. It's really going to harness the strength in the fronts of your thighs. Now look beyond the top edge of your mat without straining or reaching. Feel your weight in your heels. Shift forward, and then you can drop down a little more deeply. Yeah. Now here we go. Soles of the feet push into the mat. Let's take a big swing. Swing. All the way up. Oh, did we hear all that cracking? Oh yes, the murmur of life is all around us. Pause right here. Take a breath. Let the shoulders soften while the hands reach up for the big blue sky. Breath in. And as you exhale, release. We're going to weave the fingers together here. fingers woven together. Take a look and see which finger, index finger, is at the front. I've got my left index finger at the front, so I'm just taking a note of that. All right, hands sweep up and turn inside out. So the palms are turned up towards the ceiling. There's a bend in the elbows here. Now, soles of the feet press into the mat. Feel the calf muscles, the thigh muscles, grab hold of the leg bones. Now draw the belly and the rib cage in. You want your rib cage centered over top of the pelvis so you feel balanced. Pull the shoulder blades in towards the spine so you can just see your arms in your peripheral vision as you gaze straight ahead. Now lean slightly to the right. Try not to collapse through the right side, but lengthen the left side of the body over top of the full length of the right side. Keep the shoulders open. Breathe. Now turn to gaze to the left. Look to the corner at the left. Look beyond your left arm. Now check in with the throat, the jaw, the tongue. Just really soften there. So it's really easy to clench the teeth and to push the tongue into the roof of the mouth here with all this energy going on in the upper body, the shoulders, the arms. Soften. Now keep leaning to the right and just turn your head back so your chin is over top of the sternum once again. Now release the hands and just reach the hands to the right as well, the direction they naturally want to go. My left arm is reaching up a little bit. My right hand is kind of reaching towards the corner where the wall meets the ceiling. Now push down with the soles of the feet a little bit more. And as you take your breath in, lengthen even more. Now keep the length, even with the exhalation. Don't surrender completely. Hold on to the space. Feel the vibration throughout your whole body. Sound, of course, is a vibration. It's the beat of the drum. When you go to a concert, you can feel it in your heart. Inhale, bring yourself to center. And as you exhale, dive down. Oh, bend your knees. Bring your fingertips to the mat. Relax. Just fold over your thighs here. Head heavy, jaw soft. A forward fold, restorative forward fold. Nothing but breath here. Now reach for your rolled up towel. I'm going to place it behind you. With your fingers for support, I want you to place your heels onto the towel so that your toes, the balls of the toes, are resting on the mat. And then shift your weight back. Fingers still touching the mat, so your knees are bent enough. You've got the support of your hands here. I don't want you to feel unsteady. If you don't feel steady doing this, that's fine. We're just going to do another deep chair pose like we did before. So you can easily do this without the towel if that's what you prefer. All right, so here we go. We're going to drop the hips down. So it's much easier now with the heels elevated to drop the hips lower than the shoulders. Pause here. Bring your gaze beyond the top edge of the mat. Now it's harder to push down with the heels lifted. You need to recruit a little more strength from the thighs, but that's okay. You can do it. Pausing right here. Let the lower body here do the work so the upper body can breathe. Here we go. We're going to swing up. You ready? Swing up. Oh, crack, crack. Pause. Soften through the shoulders. Sink into the support under your feet. As you exhale, release and step off the towel. Weave your fingers together. Look at your hands. This time we want the other index finger as the leader. It feels very peculiar. It always does. Now sweep the arms up. Turn the palms up towards the ceiling. Put a bend in the elbows. So think of your arms as kind of a halo around your head and neck. Soften through the shoulders. Soles of the feet press into the mat, activating the leg muscles. Really strong, really stable from the hips down. Belly button, rib cage pull in. Embracing the center of gravity, the sacrum, the solar plexus. Now take a breath. And as you exhale, lean to the left. Keep the hips centered. Think of pulling the right side of the body over top of the long left side of the body, rather than collapsing through the left side. Get a sense that you can just see your arms out of your peripheral vision, using the shoulder blades to pull in towards the spine. Now if you feel steady, you can go ahead, turn your head to the right, looking to the corner where the wall meets the ceiling. Breathe. Looking beyond the right arm. Soft through the throat. Remember, that's the challenge there. The awareness. Knowing when things are happening. Breaking through it all to find your deeper truth. Now bring your eyes back to center. Chin right over top of heart. Release your hands and just reach your arms in the direction they want to go. My left hand is reaching to the corner. Right hand is reaching kind of up and over. Lift, lengthen, reach even more. And then hold on to that space, even with the exhalation. Inhale, bring yourself to center. Oh my goodness. Exhale, dive down. Oh, bend your knees. We're going to shift the towel off to the side. We're done with that for now. Whew. Relax your neck. Let your rib cage and belly rest on your thighs. Really relax through the shoulders. Relax the neck, the throat completely. Bend your knees. Soles of the feet press into the mat. Here we go. We're going to swing up. We're going to pause in the high chair pose. Pause right here. High chair pose. Knees bent. Heels pushing down. Shoulders heavy. Arms long. Throat open. See, this feels really easy now. Let's inhale. Sweep up. And exhale. Release your arms. Bring your hands to your hips. All right. Bend your knees. Push down with the left foot. Feel the right foot a little bit lighter. Getting ready to really step the right foot to the back of the mat. Now step, pause, and just slowly reach back, shift forward, and land on the ball of the right big toe. Really high here. Shoulders over top of hips. Now push down with the ball of the right big toe. Take a moment here to feel the stretch in the front of the right hip. Soften into the left knee. So yes, we need to sink down a little bit. Now if you're not comfortable, if you feel unsteady on the ball of the right big toe, that's fine. Place the whole sole of the right foot down. Now shift your weight forward. Shoulders, upper body coming into line with the right leg, right heel. You want to sense that you get a long diagonal right line there. Right hand comes to your left knee, left thigh. Left hand comes to the back of your left hip. Oh, we can see what's coming. Now take a breath. And And as you exhale, push with the right foot and just turn to look to the left. Keep the left hip low. Now roll the left shoulder open. Feel the twist deepening. Feel yourself moving into the twist as the body opens. Now you can stay here with your right hand on your knee, or if you choose, you can bring your right elbow to your knee, left hand to your right hand. Push your elbow into your knee, and then slowly work at bringing your gaze upwards. And of course, breathing. Whichever version of the twist you're in, breathe. Take a breath. As you exhale, slowly bringing your eyes back to the mat, releasing the twist, bringing your right hand down, and then your left. Left hand comes to the inside of your left foot. Plant your hands. Wiggle your left foot out. We're going to come into plank. What? Yeah, plank. Taking a breath right here. Exhaling, releasing all the way down. So you could be in half plank or table. Bringing yourself all the way down to the mat. Uncurl your toes. Tops of your feet rest on the floor. Lift your eyes, look towards the top edge of the mat. Elbows, upper arms hugging in towards the rib cage. Roll your shoulders back, slide them down. Hips feel heavy. Really exhale, connect to the heaviness in the hips. Feel the connection of the tops of the feet resting on the mat. Take a breath. And as you exhale, lift up to a cobra. You choose how deep you want your cobra to be. Breathe. Remember, your cobra can be down here. You choose the depth of your cobra. We're going to go for one more breath. Now exhale, bring yourself all the way back down to the mat. Toes curl under. Hands are underneath your knees. Underneath your shoulders. Knees press into the mat. You can feel your hips lift. So lifting up here, you can choose full plank, half plank, table, whatever works for you. Take a breath. As you exhale, belly button pulls in, rib cage pulls away from the mat. Press up. Take a breath. And as you exhale, transition to downward dog. Whether you're in half plank, full plank, or table. Relax the neck. Feel your downward dog. Hear your body as you listen. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk your feet towards your hands. Knees bent. Release the hands, sweep up. High chair pose, pausing right here. Whew. Another breath in, all the way up. And as you exhale, release. Bring your hands to your hips. All right, soles of the feet solid. Shifting your weight into your right foot pushes down. Lift your left foot off the mat. Spread your toes on your left foot. Now hinge forward. As you hinge forward, let your left foot, left leg seesaw backwards. Now land. Giant step back onto the ball of your left big toe. Take a moment here to reach through the left heel and really stretch out through the front of the left hip. Just feel that for a moment. It always feels good to open the hips. It's one of the reasons I prefer a slower yoga practice. It gives me a chance to connect to my body, feel everything, hear everything, Really know what's going on in my body on any particular day. All right, now let's hinge forward slightly, bringing the upper body, neck and shoulders into line with the left heel. Remember, if you're not steady here, you can go ahead and bring your left foot a little closer, even pushing down all the way onto the left heel. Left hand comes to the right thigh. Right hand comes to the back of the right hip. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just turn. Feel the right shoulder rotating back as you turn to look to the right. Stay deep into the right hip here. Try not to let the right hip pop up or the right knee pop open. Now you can stay here, or you can go deeper into this side lunge with a twist by bringing your left elbow to your left knee. You might have to wiggle your left foot back a little bit. Right hand connects to the left hand. Use your left elbow to push into your knee. And when you feel steady, you bring your gaze upwards. You choose where upwards is for you. Just reach through the left heel and really hug the right knee with your left elbow. Breathe. Take 2 more breaths. Why not? With your next exhale, just slowly bring your eyes down to the mat. Bring your left hand down, your right hand down. Right hand to the inside of your right foot and wiggle your right foot out. Step back to plank, half plank, or table. Take a breath. And as you exhale, hug your elbows, upper arms in towards your rib cage. Bring yourself all the way down to the mat. Uncurl your toes. Let the tops of your feet press into the floor. Lift your eyes, look beyond the top edge of the mat. Roll your shoulders back, slide them down towards your hips. Now push with the front tops of the feet here. Now you can do a cobra here, just like we did before, or you can come into a full upward dog. So inhale, push up. Push the tops of the feet into the mat and float the knees off the mat. Really let the hips feel heavy and bring the eyes straight ahead. Two more breaths. Whether you're in cobra, baby cobra, or upward dog. A breath in, and as you exhale, just release your baby cobra, your full cobra, or your upward dog. Curl your toes under. One more big push of strength here. Press the knees down. Belly button pulls in, rib cage pulls in. Take a breath. Try not to clench the jaw. As you exhale, push into the mat. Oh, my shoulders are getting tired. Lift up to full plank, half plank, or table. Take a breath. As you exhale, downward dog. Take 2 more breaths here in downward dog. If you want to come into child's pose sooner, go for it. It's completely up to you. Let's shift into table and then push back to child's pose. Feels good. A couple of breaths here. Notice the mental chatter. And then decide if you want to listen to it or not. If you decide to listen to it, the chatter will get louder. If you decide not to listen to it, it will fade away. Press up. Swing your legs round to the top of the mat. Reach for your rolled up towel, place it under your hips. So a little elevation of the hips will facilitate the forward fold that much more. So legs wide, feet wide, spread your toes and anchor the back of your heels. Really sit tall. Feel how that extra little bit of height from the rolled up blanket gives you some more length through the lower back. Inhale, really sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, lean forward. Far enough forward, you can just bring your fingertips to the mat in front of you. Take another breath. Now lift from the sternum as you breathe in. And as you exhale, bring the sternum forward. Keep the shoulder blades pulling in towards the spine. Keep your gaze just beyond the top edge of your mat so the throat is open. Collarbones broad. Lots of space here right in the thyroid area, which is where the throat chakra is located. Feel how free your breath is when there's no restrictions. It's almost like you could talk forever, but we're not going to do that. Just going to breathe. Notice how this feels in your inner thighs, your lower back, your shoulders. Just constantly checking in, constantly feeling muscle fibers connecting and letting go. Breaking old habits. Old ways of holding yourself. Old ways of talking to yourself. Take a couple more breaths here. Just allow yourself to sink in. Feel the weight of your upper body just helping you deepen your forward fold. And it's not just about the fold. You can feel the stretch happening in the back of the legs, the back of the knees. Now slowly press up. Use your hands, the strength in your arms to support you all the way back up. Bring your toes to the top of the mat. Knees bent for now as you bring yourself all the way down. Now use the towel here to place it behind the nape of your neck for some support. So I'm rolling all the way back. Stretching the legs out. Placing the towel behind the back of my neck. Because I want to feel the pressure there at the back of the neck. It feels so good to have the pressure at the back of the neck. You really feel your scalp, your skull just relaxing. So make a few adjustments here, whatever you need to. Grab a blanket so you're nice and warm. That's always good. Arms at your sides. Just let your eyelids go heavy until finally, in the next breath or two, they close completely. Now let's finish up where we began. Take in the sounds around you, the chorus of life that's all around. Notice if the sounds are near or far. loud or soft. Now draw your awareness inwards. Hear the sounds of life within you. The subtleness of your heartbeat. The whisper of your breath. And the murmur of your thoughts. Now direct your thoughts, your focus, to within. Feel the softness at the back of the throat. Feel the tickle from your breath. Direct your thoughts where you want them to be. Communicate to yourself with truth, with kindness, and only when necessary. And know that words only have value when they improve upon the silence. I invite you to stay here in final relaxation for as long as you choose, until you're ready to rise up. And for now, I'll begin with wiggling my fingers, my toes, bringing movement to hands and feet, arms and legs. Bending the knees, placing feet on the floor. Just take a moment before rolling onto your side. Just let your knees wag from side to side. Just loosening up through the lower back after all those back bends we did today. Gently roll onto your right side. Taking a breath. Pressing up to sit tall. Once again, bringing your hands into Vishuddha Mudra, where the thumbs connect with the lower joint of the ring finger on each hand. Resting your hands on your thighs, sitting tall, eyes softly closed or gazing downward. Remembering that Vishuddha, the throat chakra, is all about communication. And communicating in such a way that it is pure, coherent, that you're not only heard, but that you can listen. Let's take a moment here to remember the 4 gates of speech. Speaking only when necessary, speaking only the truth, and always speaking with kindness. And let go of Vishuddha Mudra. With your breath in, sweep your arms up. Bring your hands together overhead. With your exhalation, let your hands float down, palm pressing to palm, resting right in front of heart center. Take a moment to be grateful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be loved. May all beings be at peace. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.